All right, so this place just opened up in the neighborhood. It's great to be able to get bougatsa and spanakopita here, but who knows how long it'll be here, because like everything in Toronto, it'll be torn down for a condo. All right.
Hello, and welcome to Being Greek, Season 1, Episode 3.
Action! So episode 3 is called I Deserve to Be Greek. So I took you with me on a few errands that I was running to get prepped for today's episode. First thing we got is some Greek wine. As we've seen, anytime the topic of trying to obtain your Greek citizenship comes into play, you're probably going to need some liquid courage to have the strength to carry on. And if that's not enough, we also got some Ouzo, because the wine might not be strong enough. And true story, I actually hated Ouzo. I had never liked it up until the last time I was in Greece last summer, when an uncle of mine taught me how to drink it properly with a lot of water and some ice. And it's actually pretty good. So we have that. And one last thing, one of my favorite things, there is actually a new place that opened in the neighborhood here. I don't live in a Greek part of town here in Toronto, but there is a new Greek place that opened and they have bougatsa. So we're going to try it here before we get started. The best bougatsa I've ever had is in Athens, and it is at a place called Stani, which is famous for Greek yogurt as well. It's just up from Omonia Square. So if you're ever in Athens, check it out because it's really good. So let's see how this looks. This looks a little small for $7.50, but let's give it a try. Oh wow. This is really good. This is really good and really dangerous. It's getting close to summer. We need to be on a diet, not eating bougatsa. Well, I decided to come outside because we're having a heat wave here in Toronto, actually. It's been like this for 3 or 4 days so far, like 24, 26. I think it was 30 degrees yesterday, and it's kind of the same today, so it's nice and sunny. Kind of like Greece weather, to be honest with you. I have my phone here and I think it's overheating, to be honest with you. The screen just dimmed. So, well, where are we? We are starting to learn that this whole process of getting Greek citizenship by descent goes in one of two paths. And this is what we've been learning on our journey so far. Path 1 is what I call the easy path. And I have plenty of acquaintances and friends and people that I've heard from that simply are given a list of things to get. They have that list, not unlike mine. Like I have all of the documents and everything that they're asking for. They go through the steps and it's done in no time, nice and easy. But then there's path 2, and that's the path that I seem to be falling into. And some of the people that are watching along on the journey here that have written or gotten in touch have expressed that you're kind of on path 2 as well, which means, I guess the best way to give you an example of it is, if you ever heard of that old, the old child's, I guess, I don't know if it's a nurse or whatever it is, there was no lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. And then she swallowed a fly there wasn't a lady who swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. I guess she'll die. There was no lady who swallowed a cat. She swallowed the cat to swallow the bird, who swallowed the bird to swallow the fly. And that's basically path 2. So path 2 basically is, it's going to take a long time and it's going to be obstacle after obstacle. It's obstacle course. And that's the path that I'm on. Really just started on this journey thinking it would be something very easy to do. It's funny because my mother actually had a whole bunch of Greek documents, coincidentally the exact ones that you need to apply for citizenship. And when I decided that I wanted to do this, to get my Greek citizenship by descent, I just said to my mom, give me all these documents and we'll go from there. So that's what I've been kind of trying to do, but it seems like that's not really working. There's a number of different people that it just seems to be on that lady that swallowed the fly journey, which is just taking forever and ever and ever. So I heard from Stella, who's been trying to do this since 2017. I heard from Matthew in New York, who's been trying for 10 years to get things done. Now, Matthew's situation seems a little more complicated than even mine, to be honest with you. So obviously everybody's kind of has different challenges that they're encountering. I also heard from Frank, who similar sort of experience, I believe, is just wanting to compare notes. And incidentally, Frank, I did try to reach out to you, but I don't know if I had the right contact. So I'll try again, or if you're watching this, if you want to get back in touch with me, that'd be great. So it's funny. Originally, I just thought of this as something that would be great to do. I thought it would be a slam dunk. I thought it would be really easy. Obviously, it's proving to be anything but that. And I just think back to last summer. I was on vacation in Europe. I was in Italy, and then in Greece, and then I stayed in Greece. I actually lived there for a few months and worked from there. I have a job that basically lets me work remotely from anywhere. So I was there. And I remember the place that I had been renting there, a really nice place in Kolonaki. When I walked in and sort of just was getting settled and checked everything, the mattress was just nasty. So I phoned up the guy who owned this apartment. And I said, yeah, I'm going to send you some pictures of this. And if you're okay with it, then that's great, but I'm not. So we need to figure out some kind of a solution. Long story short, he decided to replace it, which was great. It was organized for delivery, and something that he said stuck with me, and it's coming back to me now. He said, well, the delivery is arranged for Tuesday or whatever day it was, but it is Greece. And I heard that a lot, and it's funny. I originally started making these videos just to update friends, sort of my cousins in Greece, but also friends back home while I was living in Greece, and just to kind of show how funny it was. And I mean, I was laughing about it. It was kind of a joke, but if you think about it, it's a really frustrating experience, and the bureaucracy is just next level tangled up. It's funny, as I was going from office to office when I was in Greece, at many places I encountered staff in those offices just saying, who sent you here? Like, just confused, like, who sent you here? Ah, okay. And then forwarding me off somewhere else. So, but the crazy part about it is, if you think about it, for me and for many of you watching, getting the citizenship is a nice to have. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are things that I want to do there in Greece and in Europe, and this citizenship will help facilitate those things, but it's not going to make or break me. But imagine if you were a Greek that needed help with some form of documents or some form of benefit that you're applying for or whatnot, and you're just given this runaround. And I don't think that the experience that we have from the outside trying to get things like this done is different than the experience that people have internally, at least from some of the stories that have been shared with me. So you can understand how, if this is a need, a day-to-day need that you're trying to get taken care of, and you're just being siphoned back and forth, it's just maddening. And it does kind of help you understand a little bit about, if you spent any time in Athens, Athens is a very, I'm going to say it's a hotbed of protest. When I lived in Greece, I saw many protests. It was in Kolonaki, which is basically just right by the capital. Oh, one second. Ναι. Ναι. Okay, θα σε πάρω πίσω. Μιλάω στην τηλεόραση. Okay, bye. That's just my mom. But Kolonaki is basically right near the parliament buildings in Syntagma Square, and you'll see there's protests there all the time. Now, when I was there, the handful that I saw, and I was there for a few months, were pretty, they were kind of fun, to be honest with you, and they were pretty calm.
It's red. Hurry.
You made me drive down there.
Τώρα ήρθε η ώρα να πάρουμε τη ζωή στα χέρια μας. Να οργανώσουμε την πάλη μας για αυξήσεις στους μισθούς, για είδη πρώτης ανάγκης και ρεύμα καύσινα φτηνά για το λαό. Μας προετοιμάζουν για το δύσκολο χειμώνα, γιατί θέλουν να κάτσουμε στα αυγά μας. Αυτό διαμηνύουν σε όλο το κυβέρνηση και εργοδότες. Η πρωτοφανής ακρίβεια σε είδη πρώτης ανάγκης για την επιβίωση των οικογενειών μας, η τιμές στο ρεύμα και τα καύσιμα, η κρίση, ο φόβος του πολέμου, η κατάσταση στο δημόσιο σύστημα υγείας.
I have, however, seen, if you look at, if you follow the Greek news, if you've seen any of the protests surrounding the train derailment, awful situation there. But, you can understand how people get to the breaking point in dealing with some of these government services. And it's, in our case, it is kind of funny, but in some people's cases, it's a real serious thing. So part of the reason for this update today is I want to share an article that I found with you. For that, let's go back inside. One other thing comes to me, it just makes me laugh now. I remember during part of my journey in Greece where I was going around from office to office, when I was in Kalamata and Sparti, my cousin that was with me, just pretty much just driving me around. I know she got really frustrated at one point, and she said to one of the offices that we were in, she said to the staff there, she's like, I don't even know what's wrong with this kid. He wants to come here and we just want to leave. So anyways, let's go inside. I want to share this article with you and we'll go from there. All right, so we're switching from coffee to Ouzo because we're going to need it. Anytime we start to do Greek citizenship stuff, we're going to need a little extra help. All right. It's Greek citizenship. We need more. All right, so I want to share an article with you in our update for today. And this is that for all of us people on path to the lady that swallowed the fly. So if we take a look, this is just, I found this in Ikathemerini. This is the English edition. The Greek one, actually, if you can understand Greek, the Greek one's actually a lot better because it always has the Greek version of Ikathemerini, has a lot more information, but the English one will work for us here today. And most of you, I'm assuming, are English, so we'll just use that one. So basically, it was under the opinion section, so I'm just going to click on it here and pull it up for us. And it was just back a few days ago. Bear with me for 1 second while I pull it up. Right here. I deserve my Greek citizenship. So that's what our topic of today is here. But basically, I was shocked to read this one. So I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to just do this. I like this.
My name is Michael Swant and I live in RMNC, user. I am writing in response to Nikos Konstanteres article, The Difficult Homecoming of Greece's Lost Children, in Καθημερινή on April 2, 2023.
So I changed the voice. I changed the voice on my Mac to there's some ones that do different languages. So I changed the voice to Nico's a Greek voice. So I like to make him to say English things because he says it with a Greek accent. But all jokes aside, this article, it's a letter to the editor and it's written by Michael Schwant. Michael Schwant? I'm probably mispronouncing that. But this just sort of gives us an indication of what we're going to have to go through here. Michael, there's another article a couple of days earlier in Ikathemerini about Greece's lost children. So I'll link both of these in the description if you want to review them. But Michael was born in Greece. And at the age of 2, he was adopted. And from the article, if you read it, he has a Greek birth certificate. He was born in Greece and he is in the male registry, which is, that's where I'm stuck, is that I can't get on the registry because of all of these issues with my father not showing up as being married and then the differences in the names. But I found it quite interesting because there are a couple of things here. Somebody had replied to one of my videos and said, oh, you can do a sworn affidavit, a section 10, I think it was called. And it's funny because he mentions this as well. He has done an affidavit about his adoption with witnesses to corroborate it. He's got his birth certificate and he's still finding problems. And the part that really got me is one of the parts that I found. Let's just put it up here. What he's saying is exactly what's happened to me, which is that you can see on my birth certificate, it says my name. It's got both of my parents' names. It's got both of their birth dates on it. It's got both of their villages in Greece where they came from. And in Greece, in both of these respective municipal records offices, you can see that there is a guy who's my father. You can see that there is a woman who's my mother. Now, there are variations between Greek and English. The letters don't match. There are letters in Greek that aren't reproducible in English, and there are letters in English that vice versa aren't reproducible in Greek. So to expect that someone's English birth certificate from Canada is going to have the exact Greek, like, that's just preposterous. And this is what Michael in the United States is finding as well. So this is crazy because he's got these records. He's got his birth certificate. He's on the registry, and he's still running into these bureaucratic problems. So what's become clear is that just like in the case of Michael, where, I mean, let's do our Greek voice again. Let's see if it sounds good this time.
I have spent thousands of dollars on attorneys after years of trying to accomplish my quest for my rightful claim on my own through embassies and consulate offices.
So that's kind of what we've done, is we've focused on embassies and consulate offices to try to help us. And it's funny because if you actually look on the Greek consulate website, which I've pulled up here, hang on, it's in Greek. Let me switch it to English. This is where they outline the requirements, and I'm just accessing the one in Toronto because that's where I'm coming from, and that's my case here. But if we take a look at it under the Greek citizenship section, it says a person acquires Greek citizenship at time of birth if the person is born to a parent of Greek nationality that is the offspring of a Greek citizen, even if the parent has not exercised his or her right to citizenship. So in my case, ding. That should be perfectly fine. A Greek citizen is a person who is duly registered in the records of the municipality. So that's where we're stuck so far. That's the area that we can't seem to get any progress on. It's the place where they won't complete that registry in my father's office because they're not showing him as being married, even though I've demonstrated that he was married. And they're sending me to my mother's office. My mother's office is sending me back to my father's office, which doesn't make sense, really, because they should be able to simply do it from there. But that's a problem there. So that's where we're running into it. But here, I find this so interesting. Registration in the municipal records of the Hellenic Republic is the legal premise for Greek citizenship. As such, certificates of registration, blah, blah, blah. In order to obtain a certificate of registration, Greek citizens permanently residing in Canada apply through their local Greek consular authorities, okay? Which in turn will transmit the application to the competent municipal authorities who issue the certificate of registration. Now, this is what's mind-boggling, is that's what I've been trying to do for years now. And the consulate is telling me, no, I have to do that. But their own website says they should be doing that on my behalf. But the point that Michael Schwandon made was that he's given up sort of dealing with the consulate and the embassies and that kind of stuff. I get that. That's supposed to be, unless I'm misunderstanding it, that's supposed to be their job. So we need a different approach. I have a brother and sister as well. My brother has something in Greece that he's using a lawyer for. And so we've asked him to kind of take a look and see if this lawyer might be able to help us. It's just funny because originally when I started all of this 2 years ago now, I didn't hear anything back. I had to contact them a couple of times. And then somebody actually did phone me. And the person that phoned me, I said, okay, here's all my documents. Is this the best way to get this done? Or should I just go get a lawyer and handle it that way? And the person that I spoke with said, no, this is a very easy thing. We can get this done for you. We're going to see if maybe my brother has some kind of an in here to help us. And obviously, once we get things resolved, any of you that are on the lady that swallowed the fly path 2, the complicated bureaucratic path, I will share this with you so that maybe it will help you as well.
All right, so we aren't totally giving up on the consulate or the embassy, but we clearly need a different approach. So I've got my passport here, and I've got the bag. This bag has all of my Greek documents in it, and we've got the Ouzo. Στην μας. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scan all of this in and send it to my brothers, I guess my brothers and my lawyer. And incidentally, if you ever need to scan the iPhone and you have an iPhone, there's a great thing in the Notes app. You can just use your camera to scan things in. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And we are going to take this to the next level. We're lawyering up. So wish me luck. We have quite a few documents. Fortunately, none of them work, but we have quite a few. All right, that's it for this update. More info in the next one. If anyone, before I let you go, if there's anybody Greek out there that can explain to me, if there's anybody that's Greek, preferably a Greek teacher or something that can explain to me prepi, the word prepi, which means I have to. So I don't understand this word because it doesn't get conjugated like other verbs, and I don't understand why that is. So normally I'm inclined to say prepo na πάω στο γραφείο για την Ιθαγένεια μου, which is I have to go to the office for my Greek citizenship. But you don't use this word conjugated that way. It's just, you just say prepi na πάω, which doesn't make any sense to me. I can't figure it out. And when I was in Greece, I actually asked a few people, I'm like, explain this to me. And they're like, just say it, prepi. All right, until the next one, cheers, and hopefully we make some progress.